Okay. Hey, what's up, you guys? So, today I come to talk to you about the Daemon. So, in a sense, what is the Daemon? What? Because for me, I've always heard the Daemon, I've always heard about it. We grow up watching these shows, right? Like Yu-Gi-Oh! And in Yu-Gi-Oh, I actually think that this has the perfect portrayal of the Daemon because in a sense what Yugi is he's just a child. He's just a kid, but at the same time there's this pharaoh that takes him over, not takes him over really, but comes out every time that he plays a game, or in a sense he plays like a shadow game, because in Yu-Gi-Oh they have this concept, or they portray this concept of the Daemon every time Yugi is doing that. So he starts to duel, and then his voice changes. It goes from "Hey guys, I'm Yugi" to "Hey guys, we must do this duel. Go there, do that, do this." And I've noticed the same with my journey. I started with a very high voice, and the more that I started to understand my Daemon, I started to step into my Daemon, my voice started to drop. Really good voice actors, they'll change their voice a little bit to sound like a Daemon, or to sound like a darker spirit, you could say. And it's the same with our voice. Our voice starts to shift as we step into our Daemon, and then as well as we embrace our true self. You, in order to unlock your Daemon, you have to go through the sephiroth. I look at awakening the Daemon is the same as Lucifer's fall, right? Lucifer was an angel born into heaven, created by Source, molded by Source, and then placed, and again, archetypes. I'm speaking in archetypes. Um, and then he was raised as an angel, so we're being raised as an angel in the Sephiroth. We are remembering who we were as a kid. We're remembering this joy and this delight. Um, we are gaining these energies of bliss, in a sense. We're gaining our source. But as well as we go through that to become an angel, and we go through the abyss to Kether, and we get our halo, you could say, or our angelic crown, we become an angel king. Again, archetypes. Try to understand the energies. And then as we descend or go through Da'ath into the qliphoth, it's just as Lucifer went from the Sephiroth into Da'ath, into the nothingness and knowing, had to lose himself fully, and then that's when he encountered Satan, right? So, because Lucifer is a Satan, just as Lucifer is Lucifer, we can say that Satan is Lucifer's shadow, right? Again, archetypes. And that because the moment he went into Da'ath, he went into the qliphoth, he now formed that new self. He needed a new body to thrive in that realm, to thrive in the darkness and the dark matter, being as he was from Source, Source being both of these things, preemination. He gained he gained that rank and that title as he went into the qliphoth. Sorry, I was interrupted by people that don't care about the occult. So actually, I'm gonna use this situation as something to that we can learn from. So my mom interrupted me. She has not been here for a while. The moment I meditated on my Daemon, a sigil actually. This isn't the exact one, but this is one I've drawn up. And right after that, I had all this creative energy flowing through me as well. You could say draconic, dragon energy, and it was it's very transmutative. Um, where if someone has a lot of chaos within them and they come in contact with my my energy, especially after doing that, it's going to start to transmute a lot of their energy and process it. So I don't talk to my mom that much, and we don't really have a connection because of the way that I do not force my beliefs, but if someone is not listening to you or your reality and the one that you are projecting outwards, then that is their ignorance. That is their fault. Um, so it literally went into an altercation where I had to defend my energy, I had to defend my beliefs because it's really funny how I start talking about this stuff, and then as I get stopped from making this video about the Daemon, she's like, "I don't like the path that you're going like down. Da da da. You're this way and you are that way." And honestly, the whole time she was just talking to herself because that's what these energies do. Someone starts to like literally get transmuted, all their chaos transmuted, and they feel all this chaos running through them, and they feel they need to attack you. That it's your fault for everything, and that's probably why. Because like right after that, she was talking to my brother and other people, and it was fine. The energy, she didn't care that they weren't doing shit, even though it was it was my fault. It's always my fault because my energy is transmuting hers. It's making her deal with her shadow, and she doesn't want to deal with her shadow. So that's another thing that the Daemon does is it manipulates energy. It manipulates these situations that would have been like if I wouldn't have been in my power, I would have just listened to my mom like every other simp. And the thing is, like, I'm okay, you know what I mean? Respect to the elders, respect to the parents. But when they are crossing your path, they're not respecting you, then there's no point in you respecting them. So it's in a similar way. Getting back to this, and so I used my daemon to transmute that situation, to have it fall into I rose from it. I gained energy from it. That's all that matters. So as Lucifer went into you could say went into the womb of Hecate or went into the void, as he left from the womb of Hecate. I was reading a little bit of Primal Craft, and that really kind of sparked my ideal with this, where Lucifer or Hecate gave birth to Lucifer. So it's just as ourself. For a lot of people, we need Hecate along the journey because she is a psychopomp. She guides us to where we're meant to be if we're working in our true source and nature under evolution, strength, and growing, knowledge, wisdom. If we're constantly cultivating these things, we're brought into her inner sanctum. We're brought more within herself. Why am I talking about this? Because this is something that you need to know. Because Hecate, okay, so it's as we go into the void, as we go into the darkness of ourself, that we are entering into the qliphoth from the sephiroth, and we gained ourselves as an angel. We became like Lucifer, like the light. Then that is when we are transmuting ourselves and we are going into the darkness. That is why a lot of white lighters that just look at the light, nothing's wrong, right? Tend to have the biggest shadow, the biggest buildup of the shadow. But as well, it's the same thing. Some cultists go way too deep into the shadow, and not like there's really too deep, but if you only just embrace the shadow, you're forgetting that you are consciousness or you are the lighter aspects, then you're not in balance. And that's what this process is for. The whole journey is to show you balance as you go from source, or you go from the sephiroth into the qliphoth. You're bringing your source, your light, into the darkness as a torch. As you're going through the darkness with this torch, symbolically, as well, Hecate, then you have the light in the darkness. You have the voice that you need to get you through the journey and through the maze of life, because that's what it is. It's a maze. And it's all trying to, if you are in alignment with your source, show you the way out. Most don't want to be in alignment with their source because they're not trying to be in alignment. That's why not many, one, cross the abyss, but as well, two, not many not many people are trying to connect to their source. People do, like through arts you can connect, through um the physicality, like, exercise, art, meditation, all these things, you can connect to your source and it can align you. But when you're going out of your way to do specific rituals to align yourself, then that's when you can draw more of the source in, and it comes at a faster rate, 222, and it just a lot easier and smoother of a process when you know what you're going through and you know the journey. And that's why these archetypes such as the sephiroth and the qliphoth are really beneficial in understanding the process that we go through to become enlightened, to become our greatest version, to become our Daimon. Because as you embrace this journey, just as like Lucifer did, you're going into the darkness, you're not knowing what's going to happen next. You have that torch of consciousness and light to know where you're going and to know, to have it guide you. So as you unlocked one part in the sephiroth, you go into the qliphoth, you unlock one part in the qliphoth, you now have two separate halves. And then as you, well, in a sense it's one being, but it's two separate halves, angel and Daemon, or Daemon. And that as you unify these two aspects from these two trees, transcendence unifies them, going up the middle pillar into the oth, then you transcend into Thamael, and you now gain this godlike power from the journey in which you pursued, and you have unified your Daemon, you've unified yourself with your Daemon. So that is the Daemon. That is the Daemon summed up. And if you want more vids, I go more in depth on my Patreon, and you can catch more content on there. But that was pretty much just a brief summary of what the Daemon is, how you can access it. Go into meditation and create a sigil. Here, I'm giving you the gems after I said the word Patreon. You guys don't gotta pay for this. So, but Patreon, if you guys want extra content, I got you guys. So this is my Daemon up here. Yin Yang balance, sephiroth, qliphoth, dragons, wings of dragon, a crown, the serpentine crown. What you achieve when you go through the qliphoth and these initiations. And then I've just had this for a while, enter thy pyramid, ETP, and that's a symbolism of the manifestation and the pyramid that I'm creating, as well as the empire in which I'm establishing. Well, within this is a whole symbolism of my Daemon and empire, but as well it's linked to an astral, it's linked to my Daemon, it's linked to myself. So as well, people can use this to connect to greater aspects of their version, to greater versions of their aspects, and as well, sorry, and as well, sorry, there's so much going on in the background. As well, they can, through making your own symbol, sigil, to your Daemon, like literally go into meditation with your Daemon, feel the vibration, and then just write something that applies to your Daemon. Maybe it's similar to this, probably won't be similar to this at all, but symbols that you feel connected with. Because for myself, I'm a Libra, so I'm connected to balance. So yin yang is very heavy in mine. After making this, I was led to Bruce Lee's sigil, which is the similar thing. He took the yin yang symbol, and then he has lines flowing through it, representing the martial art, or the way of the martial art that he was teaching. In a similar way, the way of the dragon. So embrace, by embracing the dragon as well, you were brought more into your Daemon because you're integrating those energies. So, yeah, that's the Daemon. Took a lot just to make this video, so thank you guys for being patient. My audio even went out, but the video still recorded it. So, yeah, have a good one, guys. Peace.